Okay, hello guys. Hi YouTube. This will be like my opinion or my view on the Criss Watts case. I'm coming from Europe, so excuse me if my English is not so clear. I'm going to try over here. But of course, we heard that all around the world, and also I live in Belgium, so here in Belgium too. And ever since I've been like, uh, ever since it was on the news, I've been like searching on YouTube. I was watching everything, all the interviews, all the discovery. So yeah, so I went to the rabbit hole too, and I was very deeply impacted by this sad case. So yeah, so first of all, um, I may not know everything, right? Or I may not read everything, but yeah, I've been following like closely, very closely following what happened uh, in Colorado, in USA, and with this man who was married man and had a mistress, and you guys, you know the story and you know the case, and so it's like it's just been so many months after, and then new things are coming up. So there was a lot of like speculations, like about the mistress, the Enke. Did she had knowledge? Did she put something in his mind of Criss Watts? Did she give him idea, or all was it all his doing? Like, was it all like his ideas? Like he basically didn't listen to nobody else. It was just his mind basically. So there was a lot of speculation because we still don't know, right? Like I know about I watched the Dr. Phil, right? The breaking news, the Dr. Phil, the new interview we will see on 7th of March. Is it the audio tape? I think it's the audio tape of the interview with the detectives, with the FBI detectives of Criss Watts. So I think, right? And so we will see how the way he explains it, how is his voice, and etc., etc., etc. As we know, everybody, as we know, in the beginning, everything he said, it was a lie. Especially his first interviews where he's saying that my wife and children are missing. Let's hope they're safe and they come back to me. I miss them so much. The first interviews, like the famous first interviews where he's so cold, and then the notorious interrogation, police interrogation with the with the famous police like Graham and Tammy, and wow, his confession, then the play deal, and he's in a prison, right? For the Yeah, so he's in a prison, not death sentence, but just life, or I don't know how many years. Doesn't matter. He's not coming out, but now he wants to like he has some kind of interview that people think that he may be not be lying, that he may be kind of going to see what were the events, what were the events of that horrible night, the night of the murders. So in which order, like, you know and also, as we heard, that he cleared the name of Shannon, as he said previously in the police investigation, that she first smothered the children, and then he, out of rage, right, that was his first. And now he's explaining that no, that didn't happen, that they just had fight, and that he definitely was in rage, right? And then he strangled Shannon, and then yeah, and after that, I think yeah, for the people who don't know or they didn't see Dr. Phil, or yeah, and then afterwards, like, he wrapped her in the sheets, load her in the truck, as we see the truck, like we all see the footage. And then actually he took the children, the little small children, in the car. Basically, that's what they kind of said. And that the Bella and Celeste were still alive, and then he had to, basically what he's saying, had to kill them on the site of the where he buried the bodies. Basically, I don't even want to go there. That's so sad. Rest in peace for Shannon, for the beautiful, beautiful woman she was, and her beautiful two angels. So yeah, so that's basically the scoop, right? So what I wanted to say, like from my point of view, about whole this situation, like when he's talking about the rage, I'm pretty sure, like because everybody was like before this happened, everybody was describing Criss Watts like, oh, he's so nice, he's like so calm, he's like doesn't talk much, he's always friendly. So that was the description of Criss Watts up to the day of the murders, right? But I think my personal thing is that that was just a mask. Like that was just a mask that people actually, even the his closest friend, um, was it true? Wait, let's not make. I forget what was his closest friend from childhood, basically. That he cannot believe that Chris could do such a thing. It was so they describe him as so calm person, right? So calm person. Well, guys, my personal opinion. So this will be like my view of this kind of like, is it a character, no character, or mental state of this kind of people? I don't think he was a calm person. I really don't think he was a calm person. He was a calm person in public, maybe. He was a calm person, like a mask, wearing a mask. He was very concerned how he looks, how he looks like outside, how he looks to the people. Very concerned. He like we established, he didn't have like emotional like ability, like emotional ability, to ability to have emotions or to have empathy. We're talking about empathy, like or to know what is love, what is real love, or like that connection. I don't think he had that connection with Shannon. Also, he put a mask. I'm pretty sure he put a mask all these years to her too. He may slip here and there, he slipped it here and there. She saw like a glimpse of that thing, but I'm pretty sure most of the time he had a mask when she was with her. And what was going on behind that mask, or what was going on in his mind, especially, I don't know, it could have been years. We don't know. It could have been like with years he's just hating his life, guys. There is actually, I'm not going to say, I don't want to talk about my personal experience where I've been like in a bad marriage, like I'm now out of it, but like, I was like in a bad marriage. Like, I don't want to compare it with Criss Watts, right? But I was like in a bad marriage where some person doesn't have empathy, right? For example, if like they will be like, if somebody is crying, they will be laughing. Maybe he was not showing that, right? But that's the thing, that's what I'm guessing people like Criss Watts are thinking. So for the normal people, like for the normal majority, hopefully my very big majority of the people, like we have empathy, guys, and we will not hurt not even an animal, not, I mean, most of us, right? Or we will like be, but then these people, we are not that fake. But let's say Criss Watts basically had a mask. So maybe he was hating on his life, hating that, even jealousy. It's about even a jealousy. It's about control. It's all about control, jealousy. Even though we from outside now we said, oh, he was not in love anymore with Shannon, and he was in love in his mistress. I think that's, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiater or anything like that, but just from like life experience, you guys, I think that, yeah. So yeah, I'll lose my my thought of train thought. Never mind. So what I wanted to say, uh, I think that he didn't even love. He didn't know how to love. So maybe he was thinking, okay, I'm in this new relationship. It's so exciting. For him, it was exciting, like a brand new thing, with NK, right? So I don't think that was love. So even in the beginning, when he said, I was like in love in the beginning with Shannon, I don't think he was in love. I'm pretty sure he was not in love, even in Shannon in the beginning. He may act like it. He may be like masked like it. He was like, who knows, Googling what is love, because he did that, right? Googling what is love or how to act, or maybe he was Googling how to be a father. I'm pretty sure he didn't have connection at all. Like what to be, how to be a father, or how is that true emotion, natural emotion that we people have when we are parents, right? Like, I'm a parent, and I can say that the bond between parent and a child, that's the most biggest love, basically. That's unconditional. So that's what we learn, like, I don't know, that's what you can learn in all the books and whatever. It's unconditional love, basically. So it comes naturally. But for people, yeah, for the people that have this, I can say he's mentally sick, right? So we can agree, right? So I don't know he's like diagnosed correctly, but let's just say he's sick in the, yeah, so mentally sick, basically. So for these people, not just monster, well, yeah, monster and mentally sick, basically, because he was basically pretending all these years that he's in love and he's in a good marriage and he's good father. He's such a perfect father. That's not true, you guys. I'm pretty sure it was a long time. Let's say not about the murder. So the night of the murders, was it premeditated, or was it like in a fit of rage, in a split of rage from the fight? I think personally, well, let me think about it. I think it's like culmination. I think like culmination of the rage, what he was covering deep inside of him. you know so he was covering deep inside of him this rage, and it was just boiling, and then probably influenced by the situation when he met, by the relationship with his the affair with NK. So that also had influence, that it was a perfect storm and perfect moment that his rage come out. And what he did, basically, it's like representation of um that he didn't fell off. Basically, he did not fell off. I don't think he even capable of loving even for his mistress. It was just like something new, something exciting for him. So that's my opinion about Criss Watts. So whatever interviews, let's say the interview, is he lying? Is he saying like what actually happened that night? I'm going to tell you one thing, guys. The details, or who was first, did he kill the children, did he kill Shanann, was she sleeping, was she not sleeping? I'm just going to tell you, we will never know. I have a feeling we will never know, because the things that are coming out in this interview, I'm pretty sure it's not the truth. We all figured it out that he's a liar, but now this kind of stuff, like after this so much months being in a prison, that he reading the Bible, and that he find God, and like he's like, uh, yeah, and like he's so feeling regret and this and that. My personal opinion is again a mask. It's again about the. I think it hurts him. I think this kind of public scrutiny that people hate, that all world basically knows about what kind of monster he is, and that everybody hates him, and I think that affects him. That is the thing why he's trying to talk. He's trying to to present himself, that trying to say, no, I'm not a monster, but blah blah blah. I just don't believe that. So basically, yeah, so I'm pretty sure it was horrific. How the events was, like, we don't even want to go there. Why we want to know? Like, okay, it's for some people it's like, okay, we have to know the details, but do we really have to know the details? It was, let me just tell you, it was probably horrific. Were they sleeping? Who was up? Who was not up? Were they fighting? Last words, not last words. I mean, basically horrific. So whatever you can imagine, that's probably it is what it is. So yeah, so that's not, yeah, that's like, yeah, some people want to know. I don't know about, yeah, probably deep down the Shanann family, bless them. So sorry for them. We all pray together with them. But I mean, let's say for people, like for everybody else, like, so it's a horrible case, horrible thing that happened. But also for a lot of people who are struggling, doesn't have to be women. Like I would, if I said women, also men who are like in this kind of, you would think they're not abusive relationship, but they are abusive relationship. If you just like, you know, if you just like tune in and see the signs and just be like very aware of your, with who you live with, basically. Like, because I'm pretty sure, well, pretty sure, I hope not, but there are people like Criss Watts. Let's face it, they are hopefully like not, but you know. So this case can be just like always in our, basically waking us up. Sorry guys for my English. This will be probably very hard video for people to follow. Just my first video on it, just like a short, um, well, a lot of information, but I'm just trying to make it shorter and just my personal opinion here from Europe, right? And so, if you understand my English, I'm trying my best. So basically, this case will be forever, like just wake us up. Or I don't think it's just me. Like I'm like, let's say, a little bit older woman, but especially for the young people in their early 20s or like late 20s, when they're deciding who will be their partner, you know, or with who will they have children, or with who they're living. Whoever is struggling at this point in their life, in their like love life, with relationship, like it's like wake you up, basically wake you up on the first sign that's, and the first gut feeling that that person is like just not in your best interest, that it's toxic, that it's not real love, that you don't feel that emotion warmth, and that basically like a hug when somebody loves you is just like that caring that we most people have. And if you're in that kind of situation, I get out of it, like not that extreme, like thank God, like the like Criss was, but let me just tell you, extreme abuse, like emotional abuse and verbal abuse. So, and yeah, mine started with verbal abuse. I just had verbal abuse. For some people will be like, oh well, sometimes if you call you like bad name, or one time like no, if you see like behavior when somebody's yelling, just like it doesn't have to be like okay once and twice everybody get, but if you see that anger, like if you see that anger, you can see that in people, right? You just have to always think about Shannon, her beautiful children, rest in peace, and just like be awake, aware, and save yourself, save everybody around you. And that's just my advice. And get away from that toxic people, get away from that toxic people, because yeah, because we don't want to see something like that, and we want to avoid this kind of, we are trying to avoid this kind of, with sharing this kind of videos, with sharing this case, like with, like everybody on it, like oh, what's new, or why is this, so everybody thinking about it. We become more aware as a society, and about this abuse, about us people who are abusive. So we like, on a personal level, start with a personal level, then your neighbor basically, and your friend and your neighbor, you know just like Nicole Atkinson, that was her best friend of Shannon. you know just be that person. And I'm pretty sure, the sad part is that this beautiful woman, Shannon, she was smart. I'm pretty sure she was very smart woman, very like, so yeah. But when it comes to Criss Watts, she probably did not see the sign. Maybe she saw a little signs and she was like, oh, it's just like, but but after this, we have to be so like tune in with our gut feeling, like if something doesn't feel right, it's not right. Yeah, so that's my opinion. We are going to wait. The is it audio? Yeah, it's audio interview, right? I'm going to be watching that. I hope you understand my English. like like it if it like this is my first video, so I'm going to try to see what's my reaction if I hear. So if I hear it, his voice and his explanation. So let's what wait that, right? And talk later, guys. So thank you very much. If you survive, oh, I'm already 20 minutes. If you survive, then you understand my English. I appreciate you. And everybody be safe and peace. Bye.